Hello and welcome to Learn, Bet, Learn. In this segment, I'm going to introduce you to the concept of mind maps. Right now, I am working in a product called Coggle. It's free, Coggle.it. I think it's a Google product. And every Coggle starts with this central panel here, and you can simply click on it and start typing. What goes in the central panel is the main theme of whatever document you're trying to summarize. And that's why making mind maps is really useful, because the ability to summarize something means that we've understood it. So that is engaged learning, that is deep learning, that helps us encode things. And because it also looks really nice, it's pleasing to look at. And when we review, we can quickly scan the document rather than reading through lists and lists and lists of words. So this is a good one if you are trying to put together, if it's a complex topic and you're trying to tease apart your understanding of it. So that's where this technique will be useful. All right, I will be looking off to the side here because that's where I have a document from your physiology course. So blood. And if you hit Alt-Enter in Coggle, that makes a new line. Fluid, organ. So blood is a fluid organ system. That seems kind of weird, but that is what it is. So we'll leave that. We may want to discuss fluid organ system in another format somewhere else. But right now we're going to directly go from the course notes and make some notes about it. So it has major functions. And the first one would be transport. And then if I click this, it will make a bunch of sub branches. And if I go off of it and I grab it, I can make a bunch of sub branches. So it does transport of substances. So it does transport of gases. And those gases would be oxygen. We can write it out. Carbon dioxide. We can say that it also does. So I hit this and I get another sub branch. And I can say it does nutrients. It also is responsible for heating and cooling the body. So we can't say it transports heating and cooling, but it transports fluid and it moves heat or coldness from one area of the body to another. But in your notes, it just says heat, so heat. And it very importantly transports waste products. This will be greatly expanded on in courses coming up. I think you will discuss some of the waste products that go on, but let's keep it simple for now. And we will keep to the basic skeleton of the lecture. And since the lecture had it in this order, I'm going to put it back in this order. And hormones. So hormones are important chemical messengers that are sent around the body to tell organs to do different stuff. Whoops, let's do Control Z and get rid of that. The next major sub-branch is regulation, because blood helps the body to regulate very important things like pH, which is crucial for the body's optimal function. It also regulates temperature by moving warm fluid from the core to the periphery and cool fluid from the periphery to the core for rewarming. Finally, blood regulates hydration and keeps tissues hydrated. And water content is responsible for vascular fill, therefore blood pressure. The next major point is protection, because blood protects us in several ways. The first subpoint is blood loss, because within blood are the platelets and coagulation factors that come together to plug leaks in the vasculature. The next subheading is microbes, because every time you brush your teeth, go to the toilet, eat, gargle, you cause bacterial showering. And the reason you don't develop sepsis is because of the protective properties contained within blood. The next major subtopic is toxins. Blood protects us from the toxins we ingest or are otherwise exposed to by delivering them to the liver for detoxification and excretion in feces, or to the kidney for excretion in urine. That is it for the first slide of the lecture. We arrive at the next major lecture topic: composition. Blood is composed of 45% formed elements. 45 and formed elements are things that are in suspension in blood that are not dissolved. So that would be cells, and that can be broken down in future lectures into what cell types are present. Red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, that sort of thing. Composition, 45% formed elements. And then we have, if I want to make it equal with that formed elements, we have 55% plasma. And that's important to know about because plasma is the business end of, or one of the business, the fluid business end. The formed elements are their own business end. So we might make it look a bit nicer by doing this. And then we can say what composes plasma. It's about 90% water. So you can see now why blood as an organ system is responsible for hydration, because it's mainly water, as indeed are our bodies. 90% water, and I'm going to get a collision here so you can see why I'm going to have to drive around. And then plasma contains a bunch of other stuff. So albumin, and it's about 60%. So let's say 60% right on, because you're going to be close enough. 60% albumin, and let's drive this down. 60% albumin, 35% globulins. Actually, let's put that in here. Do Alt-Enter, 35% globulins. Okay, and then you can, keep adding things to it, right? And we can drive this entire branch up so that we don't collide with the other one. And if you're really good and really quick, you could even do this during a lecture as the professor is talking. I think you'd have to be super quick, but I have had students who did do mind mapping during a lecture, and that is really good if you can get onto doing that, because you're not just transcribing every word the professor says, you are transcribing keywords. Every word, there's a lot of filler. Keywords is keywords and is very important for simplifying information when you're just learning it. That is all I have to say about my introduction to mind maps.